everybody to Silph Arena. We have LATAM factions happening today. Welcome to the Viridian Center. I'm trainer SosaFlo, and I'm with my buddy Jolt19, like we always do. How you doing today, buddy?
Hello, I'm doing great. I'm real excited to see some of these matches. As you know, I'm covering also FSPN for Latin America. I'm doing some articles weekly. We have a huge one coming up this week. But these teams are some of the best in the whole world, not only Latin America. So I'm pretty excited to see what this is for us.
Yeah, you write some amazing articles. You've done that every cycle or every bout for this cycle so far with LATAM. How have you seen these teams grow and evolve, bouncing back and forth, battling each other? Like, what are we expecting here? Are we expecting some good rivalry? Are we expecting some flashy kind of play? Like, you followed them for the entire cycle. What are we expecting here for the Diamond Tier?
Well, I think a rivalry is, of course, like everyone knows this, it's like the Barcelona versus the Real Madrid. Like, it's the Boston versus the Yankees. People know about what Infinity Go is and about Rigurosones. However, these teams also have secondary teams. So you might see some names you already know in different teams, but they are all top trainers. They go always toe for toe, and it's just awesome to see them go and score up. I have been following them throughout the whole cycle, and it's amazing because we have names, amazing names, like we have Bani and Andrew Manjarres, which participated in Worlds. And on the other side, we also have some amazing games. There's Lauren Scott, who actually beat me on Season 2 Continentals. That was a little bit hard. So I've had experience battling both of these sides players, and they are top teams. And this one was for the last battles, the last cycle of the bouts, and there was so much into play for these battles.
Yeah, there are so much to play for these battles. Season 2, you talk about Season 2 Continentals. That seems so long ago now. So many new battlers and new play styles have popped up. Like, to see these names still in the Diamond Tier battling it out, you can only expect nothing but basic, amazing, quick catches and fast tap moves on top of energy preservation and, of course, fun, because these battlers love their Pokemon and they've played with them for probably 4 seasons now. You've mentioned how this is a rivalry. That's great. We love rivalries here. We do have our first matchup we are going into. For those of you who don't know how the faction cycles are broken down, each team has 7 battlers. Each battler is given a specific field. So, for instance, there will be one battler who is Open Great League, one battler who is Open Ultra League, one battler who is Open Master League, 2 battlers who are Open Dungeon Cup, and 2 battlers who are Open Nightfall Cup. Now, those are really interesting metas, and we will break down those metas further along as we get through the entire faction bout cycle round. What is it? This is a bout. Yeah, this entire faction bout this week, as we've got Infinity Go White playing Rigurosones. I'm going to slaughter names tonight.
That was fine.
We're having a great time tonight with the SosaFlo name slaughter game. Are you ready to watch these matches? This first matchup?
I'm always ready. Bring them on, please.
Oh, we're going to bring it on. So the first matchup will be our Great League. We're going to go into the center now as we head on down. Oh, getting ready. Open Great League. We'll have Vonnie and why I don't even know. You know how to say this name. Why?
Yeah.
You don't call me that? You don't
care my name. You don't care my name. I actually asked him on a stream. I think it was on Bentuski's stream. I don't quite remember, but I asked him because I thought it was you don't see my name, but it's you don't care my name.
You don't care.
And
okay.
2 of the best battlers from Spain, so just amazing. Benny is very technical. You don't care my name is very smart about stance tree, and we see the Azumarill into the Skarmory. And this is a neutral matchup. Of course, it depends. Azumarill can win this if it gets the Hydro. It has a huge advantage. But Skarmory has the Brave Bird, and it can always do Brave Bird and Deep Out. So we will probably see Benny get up to 7, gets to 8 bubbles, probably timing up. So that did not happen. It's pretty rough when you get that fast move going through when you time the turns correctly.
The Hydro Pump does go through, so we've already established that this Vani is rocking a Hydro Pump. Usually it's Hydro Pump Play Rough, Hydro Beam Ice Beam, Hydro Pump Play Rough as well. It's a Hydro Pump confirmed. That was great on his attempt to throw it immediately, thinking that his opponent wouldn't shield. Now he's got that extra damage, and he brings in his own Skarmory. So Vani brings in his own Skarmory against Why, and Why Don't You Call My Name or Care About My Name does not have Hydro Pump on his Azumarill. Now Azumarill has been a top tier Pokemon since Season 1 of GBL, so of course these battlers are going to rock it, and that Skarmory as well, bringing it out. We'll see if we get a shield. No shield, so we're going to play the Ice Beam game. I'm sure there's a strategy here to be played with the Azumarill, maybe to soak in all the energy or not. But unlike the other Skarmory, which all has Deep Red, this Skarmory doesn't have to worry about a Hydro Pump from You Don't Care. Vani's sitting pretty nicely there.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty interesting that Azumarill does not have Hydro Pump, because seeing Vani's team, I cannot really see a target weak to Ice Beam aside from the Vigorously. But you can pretty much go Hydro Pump in those stages. And the G-Fisk matchup is really Hydro Pump dependent. And we see a Brave Bird coming through, and this is going to be a front run for Lickitung. And, oh man, the double XL line.
That was really smart, the farm to throw the Brave Bird so that the Lickitung can't build up all the energy. Those licks happen so fast, they got it not enough for 2. And he brings in his own Stunfisk. Now, we haven't seen the shield on the Hydro Pump. Will we get the shield on the Lickitung? Yes, and it's a Rock Slide bait!
Wow.
What
Vani's
a great
like
call
the
by
only
Vani.
person that baits in this matchup. And You Don't Care My Name also baits. And this is a pretty tough matchup for Lickitung, because Body Slam does no damage. Oh, and Benny shields what's supposed to be a Power Whip and cannot get his moves. So this Lickitung will probably take out Azumarill or Benny's second shield, and that could turn the game.
It's definitely going to take out the Azumarill.
Wow,
So there is a shield on Vanny. Now remember, there's a Skarmory in the back on You Don't Know My Name or You Don't Care My Name. But Vanny, remember, baited the Rock Slide, so he can throw an Earthquake now or bait another Rock Slide. Does he go for the bait? Does he throw the bait? Is this a great call? Great call by You Don't Care.
That's costly. That's very costly. Because, okay, that could be an Earthquake, but now you could probably just... You leave this Earthquake. You can Power Whip and then throw with Skarmory, and that should be close to KOing. I think Vanny has to shield this. But even though you might say, okay, G-Fisk was a Skarmory, Brave Bird does a lot of damage. So I think it's in Brave Bird range.
There was no shield used on the Power Whip. That G-Fisk is in the dark, deep red, or deep yellow. They're getting a Sky Attack first, so this... Oh, what a play! He's got one more tap to another Brave Bird! He gets it in time! What a play on energy. Throw the shield, putting the pressure on Vani to make the call for a shield. Gets the shield, then throws the Brave Bird. Wow.
Yeah, and that was also a great no shield by Vani, because probably Brave Bird does a little bit more than Power Whip. So you get a shield move that's going to do the highest amount of damage to you. So I think that's fine. And I think Vani might have gotten a little bit greedy, seeing that he got the first shield bait with the Rock Slide, thinking maybe he can get him again. Those game of baits so hard to play. Also the fact that his Azumarill died without throwing the move, that was also pretty tough for him. This is like a good game on both sides. That Lickitung did a lot of work, just tanking the move.
If you notice, both teams are very similar. The only difference is one XL Lickitung, one Diggersby, which are both thick, very thick, healthy mons with a lot of health, and they can take the damage. Look at that. Speaking of that Diggersby, he's got that Fire Punch in there with the Mud Shots. Immediate swap to Azumarill. Now, Azumarill has to build up for the Ice Beam. Vani's probably counting. Is this the Earthquake that'll go through, or will he throw that Fire Punch?
Has to be an Earthquake.
Has to be an Earthquake,
no
right?
To wait, yeah.
And
that's
why not?
Interesting shield.
Yeah, and why Yodo doesn't matter. But oh my gosh, so this is very interesting because Azumarill with Play Rough and Ice Beam beats Azumarill with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. So we don't know if it's a Play Rough on Vani yet, but if it is, that could be really huge.
I think it is not, because otherwise I see no reason to instantly swap into Azumarill. There is, I think, of course I could be wrong, I'm probably wrong, that the reason that Bunny went for the Earthquake and threw it was just to chunk the Azumarill to the point that maybe you can win the matchup back with Hydro Pump.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That could be the reason. But of course, if Bunny's here, he'll probably tell us he's probably asleep. Well, he's probably not asleep. That guy never sleeps.
It is play rough.
That's
so
good.
it's play rough, Hydro Pump. I was thinking the weird thing of why would he throw? Wow, what a catch! Oh my gosh, that play rough's gonna do nothing to that Skarmory.
That was amazing.
That
was
switch
amazing.
timer. Oh, what a catch!
That was amazing.
Skarmory is locked in on this, and the Diggersby is back. It can build up the energy. It's got the fire punches, but that catch right there onto the play rough was huge. Playing against Vonnie not swapping out Diggersby fast enough and getting the switch clock back, he might just go for it. I would say go for it, right?
I think you gotta go double sky attack here.
Oh, he's going double sky attack. He wants to get the shield. He's playing practical here. It's really smart. He's going to get a shield or do the damage off the sky attack and then build up for the next move. Now he can make his adjustments.
Get the shield. Yeah, and I think the important thing is that Azumarill has a lot of energy. It's close to 100, probably about 80 something. Mm-hmm. So it is probably 1 or 2 bubbles away from throwing 2 moves.
That is
that could be
that
huge.
Catch was so huge.
Yes,
if this shield goes through, this is going to be huge because that Azumarill will have to dump all of the energy onto Diggersby. Does it go through? Skarmory could come in. Look at that immediate swap into the Medicham. Skarmory is out, still healthy. Azumarill still healthy with energy. This Diggersby just throws a fire punch and gets countered. Oh, swapped. It's swapped, and we have a Sableye come in. What is this?
That's unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate for you to hear my name. Because Sableye has such a strong matchup into Medicham, as you will see that Ice Punch does nothing. He can take another one. So he can probably just leave this with one foul play ready for the Azumarill. Oh, and Bunny throws at the CMP. This is the thing about players as great as Bunny. Like, counting is spot on. And because you know the Medicham has to throw at the move. Like, exactly when it reaches the energy, otherwise it dies or gets farmed down. There's no reason to farm over. So Bunny is counting and throws at the CMP. It will probably just Shadow Blow down. Wow.
Knocked out by the XL Medicham. The other Azumarill comes back. There are no shields on the other. But you don't know my name?
I would have thrown the Izumi here. I mean, you outspeed either way. You probably outspeed. This is a safer play. But you outspeed. Be careful because we could see a catch here on both sides, probably.
This is not KO. With no health, this won't KO. This will drop it to the red. So Vonnie knows. He knows he's got to throw.
Yeah,
he's got the counts.
Getting the catch.
Doesn't get it. It's so intense. They both swapped on each other. What insane play!
But if this Skarmory does not have synergy, it will go down to CMP.
Yeah.
It will go down to CMP.
The sky attack is there.
Whoa.
It goes off. That's huge. That's huge. That's it. Wow.
I thought Skarmory was gonna faint and it would be an Azumarill CMP.
It would totally felt like that, and it did not happen.
Wow.
Vonnie playing that with they're both of them, Udon and Vonnie, both making that immediate swap on each other. Azumarill had a little more health, but Skarmory just too thick, and they got that energy. One tap off of that Diggersby was the one tap that got it to the sky attack, which was the way it took out the Azumarill with 1 HP in a dream for the second point of the bout. A lot of ones happening in here, my friend.
Wow, that was amazing. That was a very close margins game. IVs do matter. And I'm sure both have like great XL Pokemon. Like that Medicham living with 1 HP, making Sableye go down with probably with one foul play ready. That was huge.
That was definitely huge. Absolutely. Sableye losing the energy and not being able to throw against the Azumarill. And here we go. We know what this matchup is. We've played against it numerous amounts of times. We're going to see what Vonnie does to make the adjustments. And if both battlers, they're not throwing. Waiting for the catch and still didn't throw. Well played by Udon.
Vonnie has baited before.
It's a return.
Oh, but it's shielded, and that's huge. That's huge.
Udon
and he goes just
on fire right now. He is calling everything. Made the good lead, has the good shield call on the return, gets the ice beam off, gets a shield from Vonnie. It's all happening in Azumarill's favor right now.
Double bait. That's insane.
We'll
That
see if it
probably
falls.
means
We'll see if it falls.
probably you got a shield, right? Yeah, you got a shield. So tough, and that means you got a shield back because return will get you into farm down range, and this is a perfect play for foul play. But Bunny goes for the return. Now they're both down shields, and shields down with a Braver Skarmory in the back. That could be dangerous.
Wow. Wow. So this is amazing.
Okay.
Vonnie
Wow.
not throwing energy and you don't thinking the energy was coming to take out Azumarill, because Azumarill's been so powerful in these last two matchups. And foul play comes in, does its damage. Skarmory's half health onto another Skarmory. This Brave Bird won't take it out. It'll debuff it, so he's not going to throw. Probably going for double Sky Attack. Vonnie's got a Sky Attack with one more tap ready to go if he doesn't sneak one in between these double Sky Attacks.
And that was so interesting because these players are so high level. They are both in each player's head. Like, if I throw right now, he will get a catch. So that's why the streamer did not throw straight away. And maybe was expecting the catch on Bunny's side too, so I'll swap first. And that was very, very interesting to see on both sides. So that simultaneous swap, in my opinion, that's just amazing and speaks to the level of these battlers. They're playing insanely good. And wow, we managed to get through that Skarmory mirror. That's awesome.
The Sky Attack comes through before the Ice Beam on the Skarmory. This is going to put the Azumarill into really bad... Oh, it's
that's
a Brave
nice
Bird!
Sky Attack. That's
Oh,
a nice Sky
it's a
Attack.
really nice Sky Attack indeed. The Lickitung comes out. We know what a
Lickitung
Power Whip does
wins
to...
probably the
Yeah,
zeros
we know
against
what Power
this.
Whip does to Azumarill. But Azumarill's here for chunky. You gotta do the damage now, or else that chunk damage is gonna go on that Lickitung. Looking for a sweep to give his team a 3-0 lead, starting off on this first bout of the first bout. He's got the second Power Whip ready to go now. The Azumarill did its job.
Yeah, and Bunny's locked here because he swapped out of the Skarmory matchup. Probably just wanting to save that health to maybe to see if he can get one more move off or just to get the Earth Slash damage. And that's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
That's huge. Vonnie goes back-to-back time off of those doubles and gets his attack in before the second attack comes through.
You gotta
that
body
plays
slam.
a different matchup. There's 3 Pokemon and this one Lickitung XL with the red. Will it survive? Come on, Licky! Let's get the tongues in the chat, Lickitung! Body slam, that's the second body
needs
slam.
a Power Whip for the Sableye, I'm sure. It cannot body slam it down. And it gets outsped by Sableye, so this is so...
It has the body slam ready to go. This is the third body slam.
We could
Lock
see a
and
catch.
load.
We could see a catch.
No!
Oh, Sableye had energy, okay.
Sableye
And
still
Sableye
had
wins
energy.
CMP. So Bunny's
Remember-
just giving you the nerves. That was calculated. That was calculated.
Woo! Look at how that played out. Vonnie gets the point, gets his team at least 1 point, and if you've played in the faction cycle, 1 point is huge difference for your team, because if your team gets 10 and you have the 1, that's 11 points and you win it for your team. That was a first matchup of this bout. Jolt, that was a great Great League matchup. What do you think these guys could have done differently or anything like that? They played that beautifully, huh?
I think these games could have gone either way 3-0. They were pretty close games, defined by margins and by IVs. And I like the Diggersby on Bunny's team because normally on Great League at least, and a little bit on Master League, we see the same teams because certain Pokemon are too strong, and we see there's like Triple XL and Gifisk, because that's how it's gonna be on both sides with Triple XL and Gifisk and Skarmory, and that's fine. Seeing how these players adapt into each matchup. Like, okay, he's using Skarmory, so I'll try to bring the Diggersby. So, okay, my Azumarill wins CMP, or his Azumarill has Hydro Pump, and how we play around it, because we did not see the Gifisks. Because these team comps are designed. Okay, we saw it once through it, and it lost. And that's how Bunny adapted. Like, no more Gifisk. Gifisk basically only beats Skarmory, and maybe the Mirror and the Lickitung so-so. So I liked how the adaptations onto games 2 and 3. That was amazing gameplay to watch.
It's really hard bringing ground type against that ice beam from Azumarill there, but lo and behold, you don't care what my name is or what my name I don't know. CMYN takes 2
Nailed
and
it.
Bonnie gets 1. Nailed it, right? Bonnie gets 1. That was the Open Great League segment there. That was a wonderful play by these battlers here. We're going to go look at the Ultra Open League now, as we've got Lemon Lime versus your nemesis, Lauren Scott. Woo,
Yeah,
Ultra
fun
League.
memories, fun memories. Like, actually, on that Continentals, I faced Duban, which is from Infinity Go Black. I faced Jorginho from Infinity Go White, and then I first faced Lauren Scott, like, one after another. That was not fun. That was not fun.
An insane matchup there. But
What-
let's look at these Ultra League teams here, as we've got both players rocking the Talonflame, Incinerate Talonflame. And then we've got a Cresselia on Lauren Scott and a Gyarados on Lemon Lime. This is very interesting play here from both battlers. What are you seeing here from these teams, and what do you expect?
I see this Gyarados looks pretty fine. Probably with Waterfall, if you're not so scared of the Politoed. Politoed also looks great as a safe swap because Swampert cannot really hit you with super effective damage, and you hit it with stab neutral. Talonflame, of course, better for Politoed. You're probably running Blizzard for the Gyarados. Hopefully, you're not scared of TMing away the Legacy Earthquake. And Cresselia is always a safe wall, especially when there are no Dark types. I think you could even run Future Sight Cresselia to have a better matchup against the Talonflame. So you can go Future Sight, Grass Knot, and that's probably about the same matchup you would have against DD. So I think that's fine. But even though I believe, again, I could be wrong, Lauren Scott has a little bit of team advantage on flexibility. Lemon Lime, I think, is just one of the best performing players, not only on his team, but on the whole Diamond tier. So Lemon is he's good, but these players are awesome.
You mean the guy who won the LA Mega 9-0, that giant LA Mega live tournament, Lemon Lime? That guy who won Season 2 Regionals of LA?
I don't think we're the same guy, but could be.
It is the same guy. I know this Lemon Lime. This is my boy, Lemon Lime. We battled in Portland together and had a fun time out there. But he is actually rocking, and I need to put a note on this, he's rocking the XL Defense Deoxys. And I hate Defense Deoxys. Defense Deoxys is a great Pokemon. Amazing coverage. And it actually is a copycat of Melmetal. And if you know Lemon Lime, you know how much he loves his Melmetal with those movesets. So he's got that counter now with it instead of Thunder, because counter is just a wonderful move all around in all of GBL. So I'm really excited to see if he brings that out, because that Defense Deoxys XL is really just been a great wall to a lot of open Ultra League matchups here in season 8 and 9 now.
Yeah, and it's pretty bulky. Like, if you were to compare it to something right now, you could maybe compare it to how bulky Lugia is on Masters League. This is the same amount of bulk Deoxys has in Ultra League. Like, it just won't shield anything. Yeah, and that's very interesting because the counter actually hurts Scrafty. So Scrafty needs to land the foul place, or the counter just adds up. So that was pretty interesting.
That's the beauty of the Defense Deoxys too, is that with Scrafty running wild in Ultra League, being the big old, Ultra League counter user that it is, you now have a, counter user that's got Electric and has Rock Slide or Psycho Cut, or Psycho Boost, on it. So it's got a lot of play on it. And then it works really well with your Snorlax too, because you're going to pressure all the shields and then have Defense Deoxys counter things down. But I talk too much, you talk a lot, we've already talked so much. Let's watch these battles, as these are the battlers showing up. What we're doing here, Lemon Lime versus Lauren Scott down to the field. And watch it again. We've got a Talon. Both of those players have Talonflame. I really think Talonflame could play for Lemon Lime, but I don't see it playing for Lauren Scott.
I think double water makes it kind of tough. But if Talonflame gets one Incinerate through, that's tough for everyone. And the DD Swampert matchup, which I know how it plays out on Great League, but on Ultra could be different. And we see a one turn late start because we all know how we love to have that one on the game. And we see Swampert going straight Hydro Cannon. That's completely fine. Deoxys does not need to shield the first one. And yeah, I tell you, that's
Wow.
not
Doesn't
logical
even
damage.
Hydro Cannon
Yeah.
is such a powerful move, and it doesn't even knock the defense Deoxys into the yellow yet. The second one will for sure. That's incredible how much health this thing has.
Yeah. And this is the important thing about the DD Swampert matchup, is that Deoxys has to debuff himself to actually hurt Swampert. So shielding the first one is always smart, because the second one will do reduced damage and forces a switch out. Here comes the Snorlax, and it's a shadow one, so this Hydro Cannon will do a little bit more. And we see the shield.
I have been using a Shadow Snorlax since GoFest 2020. Like, it's amazing in Ultra League. If you can build one, it's got that body slam spam. It puts a ton of pressure down, and it's got that lick damage that just adds on because of that extra Shadow boost. So as you see there, that body slam with that extra attack gets out that Swampert down to the red. Another Hydro Cannon coming through. He's really banking on that Snorlax to be alive. I don't see a Scrafty on the opposing side. I see a Politoed. So this is great. Snorlax can just sit comfy and not have to worry about so many waterfalls or the fast moves doing all the damage on it. The first body slam comes through. Boom! Puts it to the green still.
Yeah, but it still does great damage, and this is pretty important. And we see a straight Blizzard because you normally don't invest shields into bulky Pokemon, but as you can see, Snorlax is pretty bulky even though it's Shadow, and here comes the Gyarados, and as we mentioned, the Blizzard and the Politoed was pretty important, but it will not, it will get to it! No,
Wow.
it did not. That was
Will he get the
CMP.
shield? Will he get the shield? That's
You have to shield, you cannot let those 70 energy go down. It's not 70 energy, but we see this one KO, and this will be a farm down, and that was an Aqua Tail, so probably Gyarados leaves his matchup with an Aqua Tail already.
And in comes the Cresselia, and that's not what you want to see with the crunch now happening. Do we get the debuff? It's a 30% defense default onto the Cresselia. So if that happens, those Dragon Breaths will be crunching. This is super effective. Still in the yellow.
Oh,
Did that debuff? It did.
You called that one. And that's
It
clutch.
debuffed. All the energy, doing the counting right. Lauren Scott understands that he can get a little extra energy, then throw the Power Whip. Didn't need to throw it right away. Still debuffed on the Cresselia with 3 Pokemon. Back comes the Snorlax with the debuff, thinking the bait was going to come. It didn't get thrown. Wow, the Rock Slide comes through. That debuff will take this out. This should take out this Cresselia.
think so.
All of that energy is gone. What? Oh, Cresselia is so thick.
They're both pretty bulky, and that was a great play. That was a great play, and Deoxys leaves this because, of course, that's the way Deoxys works.
The Psycho Boost comes through, and the Cresselia swaps!
What a sack! What a sack!
What a great catch by
sack.
Lauren Scott! This is what
sack.
Diamond Tier is about! Oh, you're gonna tap it!
Yeah,
Oh.
and Moonblast should kill Snorlax right now.
Moonblast Grass
my
Knot.
God.
This is a
A
shadow
couple of
Snorlax.
flicks went through, and I was scared that Cresselia was going to die.
Oh yeah.
That game was decided by the catch. Simple
So
as that.
decided by the catch. Absolutely decided by the catch.
Amazing plays by Lauren Scott, and Lemon Lime also played that amazingly good. And if you let me, saludos a Willy Jen. Voy a hablar español un poquito, pero te mando un saludo, hermanito. Aquí andamos, excelente cambiazo por parte de Lauren Scott. And we're back to English because I want to show you that I can actually speak both languages correctly sometimes. Amazing play from both sides.
It absolutely was. My friend, this is your guys' region. By all means, speak the language that your community wants to hear. The adjustments now. We saw the Swampert, we saw the Politoed, we saw the Cresselia. 3 water-type Pokemon coming out. Do we see the adjustment from Lemon Lime? Does he bring in A Gyarados to the lead. That's what he does as his matchup, and it's the same team from both opponents, just change the leads this time. So we'll see if the opponents can make the magic happen between both of them. In comes the first Moonblast from the Cresselia. I think this is the first time Rigurosones' team actually caught the CMP win here. But yes, now comes the crunch. We saw what it did before, hoping for a debuff again with the 30%, but we don't know yet. Boom, in comes the super effective into the yellow, no debuff, but this Gyarados is just doing the work. Those Dragon Breaths, baby. It's another Moonblast coming in hot.
Yeah, and that was pretty strong. And even though Cresselia is bulky, it's still struggling to take on these Gyarados if it decides to invest a shield. And Gyarados is almost at 2 moves, so even if you shield, you probably get outsped to the next move.
No way, man.
Oh, I was wrong.
The grass not ready to go. By Gyarados.
However, this is farm down range for the Snorlax. Snorlax will be happy to have all this energy go down. So you're forced to switch into Politoed, and we see that these Weather Balls do not do much, and Body Slam adds up because those legs are doing probably 2 or 3 damage to the Politoed. And yeah, even though it might not seem like much, it adds up fast.
Yeah, both opponents having a shield this time, whereas last time they didn't. Will the bait call happen? Will the blizzard be called? No, it doesn't look like Lemon Lime calls it perfectly. Not gonna think the blizzard's coming through. Allows the weather ball to happen. Allows this one to happen. Knows that the double weather ball will bring Snorlax into the yellow, but can still lick and put extra pressure down. All of the energy is gone, but he's not gonna go for overfarm. He's gonna throw immediately and see where his opponent stands on his Politoed.
Barely leaving the Body Slam. I don't think
Does he lick
gets
it down?
to the... Ooh, that was close. I've been there trying to get to another move, and just not maybe relying too much on good connection and getting farm down. That was a great play to get the Weather Ball out, and this Body Slam will go through probably, but this is a great farm down for Swampert. We all know how dangerous Swampert is with energy.
Absolutely, and immediate swap. Only got 2 licks before, only got 1 mud shot in there, so now he's up to the Earthquake, ready to throw on the Defense Deoxys. And remember, that Politoed is around, so another catch could happen. We saw it in Game 1. We'll see if it happens Game 2. The Earthquake doesn't even knock the Defense Deoxys into the yellow. Doesn't do much. Defense Deoxys can throw the Psycho boosts and then swap out and lose the debuffs.
This is smart. You know you're getting the shield, so you don't debuff yourself. Even though you use a higher energy move, this is pretty much like using Ho-Oh in Masters. You bait with the Earthquake, so you do not get debuffed.
Okay.
This is the same way. This is pretty smart from Lemon Lime, and now that there are shields down, you can easily Psycho Boost here and get rid of the Swampert. Because remember, DD has very low attack, so probably Rough Slide could not have killed her, and you save energy. So you can probably swap out, get rid of the debuff, or just counter down.
Oh, Lemon Lime makes the swap.
Last one!
Look down! We got a Rage Quitter. Rage Quitter! We got a Rage Quitter there, but you have to play match 3 or battle 3, so Lemon Lime takes the second matchup, makes the right adjustments, doesn't get the debuff, but it doesn't matter. He keeps the shields for the Snorlax. He has a shield left, whereas in the first battle, both opponents lost both shields early on. We will see if they play the adjustment differently in this third battle. Jolt, are you expecting any different Pokemon to come out? Are you expecting the same line of 3?
It's pretty difficult to bring a Scrafty, which is the best counter for Snorlax, because the Swampert matchup is like pretty even. Swampert does a lot of damage to you, same as Gyarados. Toxicroak counters you down. DD is so, but it's still not comfortable, and Talonflame is a flying type. But we see the A9, and it's Powder Snow. It's Powder Snow.
Yeah, so this Powder Snow, Powder Snow is building energy. I was expecting this to be the move, right? You just said it earlier. The Scrafty is the only counter thing. Hasn't used it, but Talonflame sat on the bench. both games. Why not test it for game 3? Thinking that Lemon wouldn't bring it. Bring out that ice. Going
Ooh, this is
straight for the Moonblast.
Moonblast. This is not Moonblast. This is Dazzling Gleam.
Dazzling Gleam. Sorry, straight for the Dazzling Gleam.
Baited you. I was testing your move, no ledge.
I was sitting there for 5 seconds, and a Bounty Slam will come through on the Snorlax. What's going on?
Yeah. This probably 1 KO, and Ninetales can probably get to another Weather Ball, because Weather Ball is 35 energy, Powder Snow generates energy really fast, and Lemon Lime would let the Snorlax go bye-bye. Even though it was the MVP, he's saying, I do not need him this time. I got the Pokemon that I trust. And DD gets a great farm down. I guess they were 3 counters. And you go back with the Swampert, straight Psycho Boost this time. Right. Will we see a shield?
2 shields on both opponents this time. Different from the first matchup where they both shielded their lead Pokemon. Both opponents have 2 shields now. I know Lemon Lime's played against Ramberto and understands this. I don't know about Lauren Scott, but they're both playing this really well. In comes the Hydro Cannon, and then in comes the Cresselia. I would have, that's really tough because that Cresselia's got that Grass Knot. But the Crunch, Energy, Extra Dragon Breath, will we get the debuff? Debuff will be huge. No debuff from the Crunch, so 1 out of 3 times. That's a 33%, right? Who's watching the Yankee game? That's a 1 for 3, right? Batting average. 2 shields, maybe investing in the Gyarados here. Now that we know that it's a Swampert in the back, we know that the Psycho Boost will still do the damage. Maybe Gyarados gets Bolt the Shield since Cresselia got Bolt the Shields. And I expect a lot of swapping and switching and catching to happen soon, especially if no debuff happens. Look how quickly he's tapping for Defense Deoxys, hoping not to use a shield. He's gonna have to let his Gyarados go down. No, Gyarados is still alive with 3 health, 12 health, still alive. Can he get to it? Makes the swap. No throw from the opponent either, so no catch from his opponent. Still has a shield though, and this is Moonblast.
Deoxys with a shield is just too bulky. That was a Moonblast, and we see that Earthquake does not even take 50%, and Swampert is energy, well, not energy dry, but it is not fully loaded up. So you are speaking about maybe 3 Hydro Cannons, or maybe with this Moonblast, you're just 1 Earthquake away, but you need to bait, and Gyarados left with an Aqua Tail ready. Right. So as soon as your shield's down, that's pretty tough.
Beautiful swap by Lauren to make the adjustment. Oh, this is where you
This is not KO.
This doesn't KO. He's got the shield for it, but he's got the Psycho Boost. He can make the swap. That timer's clocking down on that Gyarados now. He will not lose so much of the attack. Like you said before, that was the first move that Snorlax had. It was energy dry. Gyarados can come in and farm it down. Gyarados can come in and farm it down. It doesn't look like he's gonna counter that down. There's still the Cresselia left. There's energy. There's a Rock Slide, and Lemon Lime is probably gonna take this with this Rock Slide.
Yeah, and Gyarados had an Aqua Tail in the back, so there's no reason to. Wow, that's of no damage. And there it is, the Aqua Tail. That was very great play because you know Cresselia has to throw a move. So either way, if it throws Deoxys, it's free for the Gyarados to throw the Aqua Tail. Gyarados wins CMP. Great plays by Lemon Lime, taking this 2-1 right after losing the first one.
Taking a 2-1 here to give his team a 3-3, tying it up. So we're gonna go back to the scene now and go over that, and we've got a 3-3 here from the team Jolt. As we were talking before, it was so interesting. The same 3 lineup except for the Ninetales, and I'm kind of shocked that Ninetales wasn't Charmed. I actually like it as Powder Snow, right? You get the spam of the Weather Ball, all of that stuff. But if you're gonna bring it in against that team, I felt like Charm would have been the nice way to go about it. But what did you see here from our opponents and these battlers?
I saw a lot of great plays. I like how Lauren Scott stayed by the double water and Cresselia lines in the first 2 games and then adapted again. Here we see in these adaptations, like we saw on Great League, seeing okay, so he's not really bringing in Talonflame. Maybe the reason that it was not Charm is because maybe Lauren Scott was expecting the Talonflame to be more prevalent, even though he has double water. So that could be one of the reasons. And Ninetales coming into Snorlax, it's a great matchup. Well, maybe not great, but it's even matchup. So you make sure that Snorlax does not damage your Cresselia, which is the matchup you really want to avoid. And it was just a great play. Gyarados did a lot for Lemon, same way as the Deoxys. Just the ability to save the shields for the Gyarados, or the Snorlax, like in, I think it was game 1, and not use them on DDE, that was a lot. Make the Swampert use the energy on the Deoxys. Great game.
Absolutely great game. Then Lemon Lime, they both battlers made the adjustment, saw what they were doing in the first matchup. You're gonna give a shield, I'm gonna give a shield. There's gotta be something here happening. But at the end of it all, at the same line of 3, like you said, that Gyarados defense Deoxys core is absolutely amazing in Ultra League right now. So congrats to Lemon Lime for taking that matchup and getting his team back into this, tying it up and getting Infinity back to a 3-3 tie for the Open Ultra League for our factions. Now we're going to get into our third matchup here, and that will be Alex777 versus It's Jorginho, and they are bringing in the Master League for Open GBL. I don't know Master League at all. I mean, I know Master League, but like I don't play it. I've been running Little Cup this whole time. I don't have the Stardust to care about Master League, nor can I grind Jolt. How about you? How are you in your Master League skills and abilities?
I mean, you're speaking to the guy that just went blank in Stardust to get his Mewtwo to level 50 today. Like, I've been playing Master a little bit. I've seen a lot of Master matches with Major helping, well, not helping, but trying to guide for the battles. That's an amazing battler. Just, she's helping more than I'm helping her with Master League. So I've seen a lot of matchups. And I have an idea of how they resolve. And Master League is pretty awesome because even though the Pokemon are very bulky, they're also hit pretty hard. So every single unresisted charge move does like over half HP. So you gotta mend shield and energy pretty good, and you gotta stay away from those Togekiss cases. I hate them, but Mewtwo looks pretty interesting here because if this Garchomp is running much of Garchomp, Mewtwo can take the one shield just straight Side Strike. So Snorlax seems to be pretty good with the Metagross and Mewtwo there, having a neutral matchup against the Swampert, having a neutral matchup against Gyarados, can probably beat Mamoswine with the superpower. So it's just Togekiss that it really does not want to see to a certain extent. Snorlax looks amazing for Jorginho. And Lugia, as I mentioned before, it's pretty darn bulky. Like, it takes a Shadow Ball from Mewtwo and just about half HP. That's how bulky that is. However, I think that Mamoswine on Alex's side, if you can get it away from the dribble, the Excadrill, it will do wonders. So I think it will be a safe swap scenario to see who can get back this reach advantage and how it goes from there.
All right, well that is a great assessment of the Master
Well, I
League.
hope it's great.
It is. I loved it. I love that both of them are rocking the Togekiss because one of the original Master League Season 1 loves of GBL for sure. I do like the Lugia on It's Jorginho's team and the Metagross on It's Jorginho's team. I know there's a lot of things going against the Metagross, but there's also a lot of things going against what goes against the Metagross. So you can protect the Metagross and have the Metagross come in with Earthquakes there to really do some damage, but at the same time, you got to match it up properly. So whether or not that'll happen, up to Alex. As we're gonna go now and check out the third matchup of this cup or this bout. It's Jorginho versus. All right, so I see Swampert on the on Alex's side too, and both of them are rocking Gyarados. This is really, really interesting.
Gyarados is amazing this format because it can go between Waterfall and Dragon Breath. And I think Jorginho's Gyarados probably has Waterfall. We will see the mirror matchup. Waterfall Gyarados loses the mirror, but basically beats everything else. Shiny Gyarados, the Shunda probably. I don't quite remember. And both Dragon Breath Gyarados. So this is CMP fast probably.
First to the crunch. We'll see if we get a shield here from Alex. Alex is probably just waiting on it, thinking not so much.
Probably not.
The debuff goes through though. This is why we love those debuffs.
That's the only way Jorginho wins every single of his games. Like, if you see his stream, go check him out. Twitch.tv/itsJorginho with a 0. He just gets very lucky all of these times. And I'm just kidding. He's an amazing battler. And here we see a CMP tie going to the water. Aquatail, this probably KOs because of the debuff. So Jorginho will take the lead, and this is huge because that Snorlax will get matched up against the Mewtwo unless you swap in.
He swapped it in, which is really interesting. Snorlax is a beast of a Pokemon. Side Strike coming off of that Mewtwo, which is huge, and the Shadow Ball coming off that Mewtwo. Man, I remember when you could only have one Mewtwo with Side Strike and one Mewtwo with Shadow Ball. But with the new system and all the elite TMs, we get Best Buddy Snorlax here, gonna pop off a Body Slam onto the Swampert. This is not a Shadow Snorlax, so the attacks aren't doing any extra damage. It's gonna keep the Swampert into the green.
Yeah, both of these are pretty bulky. This probably does not KO. And the thing is that Jorginho probably swapped because giving a farm dump to Mewtwo is like one of the worst those conditions you can find in Masters League. I'm playing Mewtwo myself, so if you give Mewtwo a huge energy advantage, that's just game over. And Mewtwo's also pretty squishy. So Lugia with Dragon Tail, even one Sky Attack plus Dragon Tails to get to it leaves you in the yellow. So you do not even need to hit the Air Blast. So giving Lugia shields is pretty insane. You can probably just 2 shield. Oh, that's extra sensory.
Existentiary, right? I was like, that's not Dragon Tail, that's Existentiary. That is very interesting. Those counts are going to be completely different now for the Sky Attack, but it's that Psychic that you're looking for. It does nothing to Mewtwo. Mewtwo gets nothing done to it, and there's Sky Attacks ready to go. Thinking he's going to make a catch. Not going to happen. But is enough for the Shadow Ball? Or for the Aqua Tail? No. Now you've got Sky Attacks and Shadow Balls coming through. There's a shield left on its Jorginho.
Oh, this is tough because you don't really want to bait, but again, one Shadow Ball does not KO. Like, you need a Shadow Ball and a Side Strike. So that's pretty rough at this point. Because
both opponents rocking shields.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter that Mewtwo outspeeds. The problem is Mewtwo cannot take one Sky Attack and Lugia can't take the Shadow Ball. And that's absurd when you think of it. I don't think double Shadow Ball KOs. I mean, because you get one shielded, and we'll see if it goes through.
Oh man, well, it's Jorginho, not shield. Okay, he's shield. Cool. He's playing super safe. Because you're making it sound like he's just in such a commanding lead. There's the last Sky Attack. LXS and Touch we go through. The Sky Attack will, like Jolt says, take out and feint this mastered up Mewtwo. And we've got Swampert left with energy. But the Hydro Cannon will not take out the Lugia, who's still in the nice green, still sitting cushiony. Yeah.
Okay, these look controlled, but this was one turn away from being a win for Alex, because that Mewtwo, I think, went into what now we know what as desynchronized CMP, a turn CMP, that you are just one turn late to your move and it counted. So if Mewtwo had baited once, it would have gone to the Shadow Ball, and the Swampert would have gotten to the Hydro Pump that KO'd the Lugia. So this was a one turn battle, and once I struck bait would have gotten this match for Alex. This was amazing, and also nice play from Jorginho trying to get the catch. But he got it. That was absolutely game over. Both players know it. Both players playing amazingly and showing how they are so knowledgeable about this league.
Very knowledgeable at this league, because you're sitting there going, why did you swap in that Snorlax into the Mewtwo? They could easily swap out, but it worked in his favor. We got Mewtwo into Lugia leads. This is what it's Jorginho. You're right. He does get lucky. Either that or he's really good at calling team comps. So he gets the lead. Existentiary coming through. They're going to do this again. Will he go for the Aero Blast this time? We'll have to see as they build up. The first Shadow Ball coming in hot.
Hopefully not, so you can see the damage it does. Come on!
We don't want to. It's Jorginho doesn't want to give up unnecessary damage.
That's very understandable. And you got a shield here because Aero Blast probably KOs you.
This is Sky Attack though. We've seen the tap.
Yeah, but you got a shield. You got a shield. Yeah. Like, even There's no move you do not want to shield Mewtwo. Like, like another side strike.
Like you were saying, right here would have been a great time to bait the move and then
Okay,
throw.
you'll
But
see.
look at it, Torhino.
Barely past the yellow. Barely past the yellow.
Wow.
That's not fun. Ooh.
That's pretty healthy. And the second shot.
This will be a shield. No way you let Lugia die with the Narrow Blast.
And it's tapped too, so this could have been a CMP here.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a CMP there. This Arrow Blast coming through. Maybe
got
that'll
a shield.
change up and we don't get a shield from the Mewtwo.
Oh,
no shield,
no.
Arrow Blast. One
Bye.
shot. Bye-bye.
But this is a great position for Mamoswine. And this is an amazing position for Mamoswine. Because Mamoswine will be left against... Well, I'm not really sure right now.
Immediate swap.
You gotta catch.
There is a Mamoswine throw it. Is it Avalanche, right? Avalanche onto the Snorlax. Snorlax can build up for a superpower, which would be effective, but debuff Snorlax. You don't want to do that yet. Makes the swap into the Gyarados. So now will come the double body slam spam, and then swap into the Gyarados, right? And just go after that Mamoswine. Who knows? One body slam, bam! Two body slam, ready to go! Wow. Look at Snorlax. Build yourself a Snorlax. Not an XL Pokemon. Beautiful Pokemon for Ultra League and Master League. As you can see, can take the damage. Those licks do... It has great coverage. Just great coverage across all of the metas.
Yeah,
you
so
seem
it's
pensive,
pretty
friend.
safe.
You seem very pensive. The Dragon Breath goes... The debuff happens. The Dragon Breath takes it out fast before another body slam can come through. That's big. In comes the Gyarados to chunk down the Gyarados. We'll see if the Gyarados throws the Gyarados and he moves. A move will come on to the Gyarados from the Gyarados.
Yeah, and the thing is, Mamoswine does not really want to take the Aqua Tails. However... Oh, this is gonna be so tough because... I'm not sure one... Oh, trying to get another catch, but now it's gonna be a farm down for this Mamoswine.
Sky Attack comes in. Oh!
Yeah, great counting. But it's at
Great
one.
counting.
It's a two. So it will have another one for the Pokemon in the back.
There's a crunch ready for it too. Aqua Tail.
It's an Aqua Tail, CMP. I don't think he flips it.
Gets it. Yeah.
I don't think he flips it. I was telling you, Mamoswine looks so strong right now.
Yeah.
Especially when you see this Snorlax and you manage to weaken it. Mamoswine looks so insane. Mamoswine and Snorlax, I think, is gonna be the name of the game for Game 3. And that Lugia does a lot of work. And we got confirmation from Jorginho that Extrasensory was intended. I know Extrasensory beats Togekiss in all even shields, while Dragon Tail needs a little bit of help, and it's a quite close matchup.
Okay.
So probably for that matchup, it's worth it, as there are not really any dragons that you want to keep super effective with the Dragon Tail. So there's not really like a Dragonite, Palkia, or anything like that. So I think that's a smart choice. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit weird because we're used to see it with Dragon Tail, but it's a smart choice.
I know, because ever since Dragon Tail came on, Lugia was like, hi, I'm here. Now it's like, oh, Existentiary? What is that move? Gyarados into the Snorlax. You're right about Snorlax being the prominent aspect, and that Mamoswine is in the back too, ready for the swap for whatever it has to face. That is very interesting. Both opponents bringing the same three lineups again. This is what you love about GBL, is that you can just look at your opponent and just bring the same three lineup always. Doesn't have to matter. Just run the same line of three no matter what. You'll get a... Ooh, here comes the crunch. Will we get the debuff off the crunch, though? That's a good question. Will it happen? No debuff, so the Dragon Breaths aren't doing any extra damage. Snorlax is in the yellow, though. We're getting a body slam here. Will we get another shield? Or will we get a shield?
I don't think you get a shield here.
Yeah.
And normally when people play the same line of three, it's because they feel that's the only way to play, or when they feel like, I can win this if I just play differently. Like, it happens a lot that you say, I had this, and then I misplayed certain part of the battle. So you say, okay, I just need to switch the line of three. I mean, the order, because there are not hard counters. And then I can play differently, or I can play to certain win condition. So you run it back. And that's pretty good. I find it fun. And this Mewtwo takes a lot of damage from Blix, and that's an amazing sack.
What a catch. What a catch to get the Psy Strike onto the Lugia, which doesn't do anything, to just kind of farm down this Mewtwo. Mewtwo's got two shields. The Mamoswine's in the back, and Gyarados has a little bit of energy left. So this will be
You
really
can
interesting.
probably just farm down and like live with 100 energy. I'm not sure if you were able to before getting a Side Strike through. But it lives to the Mamoswine. And this is a Sky Attack. This will not KO.
Obviously.
This will not KO.
Yeah, shield for the Mamoswine. If you're gonna let the other two go down that hard, go for you're shielding the Mamoswine. We can all see it coming. We all see your game plan, Mamo. No shield on this Mamo though. It's another Sky Attack ready to go. That's gonna be some damage onto the Mamo, building up the energy and buy. So it has Avalanche and a half and an Earthquake or Bulldoze. It's Bulldoze, right?
Bulldoze, yeah.
Bulldoze ready to go for whoever comes out.
Yeah, and
Looks
it's
like
tough.
The Gyarados.
It's very tough because the other two Pokemon are pretty weak, are in the red already. So they cannot really take fast move damage. And these Snorlax slugs add up. So you need to spend all the energy on the Mamoswine, and you're also in the yellow right now. So I think we're at the point that we could see a leak down for all three Pokemon.
One shield on Alex, no shields on its Jorge. We got the body slam. Can he lick down the Mewtwo before the Side Strike comes through? That's huge. There's a body slam ready to go. Gyarados is in the back. Both Gyaradoses have about the same amount of energy. This could be epic. So the body slam will come through. There's enough clock going down on that timer. You got a shield. There's no health on that Mamoswine, and Dragon Breath will take it down. You need your Dragon Breath to do the damage. Will he get to the second body slam? Not in time before the Aqua Tail comes through. Oh, but the body slam does come through. That's huge. It's Horhito gets the body slam before the Aqua Tail goes off. That Mamoswine has very little health and enough energy that could probably take out.
Wow.
That could have taken out the Gyarados, but it didn't. He took out.
So insane. I don't think that was CMP, but it looked like it. These games are so rough because counting one turn fast like Leak and Dragon Breath is so tough. And one turn decides another game again.
Whew, that was exhausting. That was really close altogether. Great job by both battlers to have the energy to make it come down to whatever Pokemon in the back with the red to throw. Wow. That was huge. Itorhino playing the lick very well, and Existentry being a wonderful move for it, and the Dragon Breath coming in hot from Alex and Mamoswine with the energy, but they should have thrown. I don't believe Gyarados had the extra energy or not, but it was insane there to see. Just watch that Mamoswine with all that energy hope to take out that Snorlax, who's just so thick.
Yeah, Snorlax played a crucial role in Jorginho's win, but also the Mamoswine. Alex came close to winning all three games. So as we felt it in the first game, in Great League and Ultra League, these games are so high level. It's not like you see the leads and you're like, oh, it's game over. We know there's always a win condition. There's always a comeback condition. I'm loving these games.
You don't need to tap top left immediately if you're not in a good position. You can easily build up energy, catch something. Your Pokemon with 1 health can be your shield. That's what the difference is between 1500 CP and max CP, is that you have enough health to stay alive between that switch clock to get it back into the matchup. And these battlers know what they're doing. So great to the first 3 sets of battles. That first 3 matches that we watched were all open GBL style. These next matches are Silph Meta Guide style, Silph Cup styles, and we have Dungeon Cup and we have Nightfall Cup. So this is really interesting. This is the meta, just so that everybody has an idea of what these battlers can and can't bring. And Jolt, you are on a factions team as well as I am. I play Nightfall Cup. You play Dungeon. Do you want to explain Dungeon real quickly, and I'll do a quick on Nightfall, just to give our audience some idea of what this meta is?
For sure. I mean, you can see it on screen. Dungeon allows bugs, dragons, steals, poison, and water Well, Mega Shadow Ephemeral Gift is basically all the BBML Great League Pokemon are banned, so that makes it fun, which means Pokemon such as Jellicent, Ferrothorn, Swallows come into play, which are great Pokemon, but we do not normally see them that much aside from Jellicent. And I'm liking this cup a lot. We see great cores from Jellicent and Ferrothorn. We see great core breakers for that core. And I have seen Ferrothorns with Mirror Shot, with Focus Blast, Flash Cannon,
Flash
and a
Cannon,
lot of the
yeah.
strategies resolving around that. Galvantula is also a pretty strong pick, but if your opponent's lacking a Galvantula, picks like Manti and like Gyarados come into play, and Gyarados is so oppressive if given the right scenario. As we see in Ultra and Master League, if Gyarados can find its a slot, it does an amazing job. I'm liking Dungeon Cup a lot. I think it's one of the best cups Silph has given us. I would have liked to play that one on Silph normally.
Silph has gotten a lot better at providing cups that cater to your style of play, your Pokemon style of play. So like you were saying, like you can have all these different styles of Pokemon, like a Ferrothorn, right? But if you like running Flash Cannon on your Ferrothorn, you can easily play that out and have a team that works around a Flash Cannon Ferrothorn over a Mirror Shot Ferrothorn. And that I'm just so happy for that Silph has done that and allowed battlers to play Pokemon with different movesets and stuff like that. Nightfall is a different kind of beast. The Nightfall Cup came out before Silph started doing that. It was the beginning of Season 3, but with all of the new changes that Niantic has been giving us and the buffs and stuff like that, it's been wonderful to play with. You've got Ice, Fighting, normal, ground, and poison typing, and the bans are Pidgeot because obviously Chansey again, and then Lickitung. So you have two real thick Pokemon that you don't want to get timed out, don't want to play the timeout game with, so they ban those. I'm seeing a lot of Frostlass in here because you get a lot of Ice type, it's the only one with a Shadow Ball. It's like Ice typing with the Shadow Ball. You've seen some Golbats now with that Poison typing, but this has also allowed G-Fisk to play. So G-Fisk comes out and plays, and the normal typing has a great span of different types of dual typing in there that allows you to cover most of your meta. So we're going to look at our first matchup here will be the Dungeon Field, and we have, if I have it right, AJ versus Andrew. So you want to say, I know we slaughtered the name, Andrew's name horribly during the, during Worlds. Jolt, do you want to say how to properly pronounce Andrew's last name?
I mean, of course I can make mistakes, but I think it's pronounced Manjares.
Manjares.
Of course, I could be wrong. It could be wrong, but that's how it's supposed to be. And a Jenny on the other side is just as simple as that. And these teams are pretty similar. I love the Silphs. I think the Silphs is the MVP of this cup, rocking the Dragon Tail, the Crunch, and the Earthquake hits for neutral a lot of Pokemon and can farm down the Dragon. So Swallows has a pretty hard time. Flygon, if it cannot land the Earth Power, also goes down. So Steelix is like your dragon that is not a dragon. Does an amazing job. I'm also loving the Jellicent on both sides. It's pretty much a staple on this cup. You gotta run the Jellicent. Normally with Ice and Shadow Ball, because you gotta take care of those dragons. Otherwise, it's a little bit iffy. But Baldwin has play too. And then the Heracross, which is a great fighter. We now see that it got Rock Blast. Even though it is not the best move, it does a lot of things. For example, putting pressure into the Galvantula and getting a move faster against Ross Raid. So there's play from there. And on the differences, Golbat is pretty strong. Poison Fang was buffed. 1D off is pretty hard. And Golbat actually farms down Heracross, even with Rock Blast, so bad that you can like double Shadow Ball anything you want. I am loving Dragalge. I was using triple Dragon, like I was using Silix, Dragalge, and Swallows because dragons run this meta so hard. And Dragalge is pretty strong. And it can run the Gong Shot, it can run the Outrage and the Aqua Tail. So if given the right matchups, Dragalge can just farm down Galvantula, throw an Outrage to whatever comes next. It's pretty amazing, but Ross Raid is also to be really careful for. One Leaf Tornado, I think, does like can probably KO every single of these Pokemon. Probably does around half to Dragalge. Only Golbat can really come in safely. So Golbat seems to have a pretty key role but it does not really want to find the Steelix or the Galvantula.
No, it doesn't. That is a wonderful analysis. That the Heracross that everybody just got because they had a Heracross event a couple weeks back has been wonderful as a battler in this meta and in the Lunar Cup meta that Silph has for this season. Now, if we recall Andrew, the last time Andrew was on this channel, it was for the World's first round, and he swept everybody with that Steelix. So I'm excited to see him bring this Steelix back. But like you're saying, there's a lot of things that go against the Steelix, but a lot of things that work with the Steelix. So I'm really interested to see how they're gonna play both of these matchups out. Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready.
Is the chat ready for this? This is now the Silph meta version of the factions battles. We've got what is it? Anjaniq?
Ajani. I think so, of course. I could be wrong.
Anjaniq versus Andrew. All right. Oh.
And we can get confirmation in the chat.
That battle's not up. Oh, crap.
If we can get confirmation from someone in the chat about how Ajani's name is pronounced, that would be grateful. Yeah, I could be wrong. It could be Ahani, but I don't think that's the case. We do not know. Maybe his teammates are able to tell us while we keep fighting the battles.
We are actually going to discuss how that battle is not up and running. That battle did not come through in our post-production side, so we will let you know right now that AJ sweeps that matchup. 3-0s Andrew and gets it going. I apologize for that. That matchup was not ready or edited in time. So no problem there. We're going to jump into the next matchup of the Dungeon Cup. Now that Rig has brought themselves back to a 7-5 lead off of that sweep, we will have Master versus Christozun battling it out. So we have a Haunter in this one, and there's that Ferrothorn you were talking about in this matchup, and Christozun looks pretty similar to the other two battlers matchups. What are you seeing here? Oh, there's a Dugong too. What? That's awesome.
Yeah, Christos team is almost the same as Ajani's, except that instead of a Heracross, there is the Toxicroak. And Toxicroak has some differences to the Heracross, especially that Mud Bomb, which does neutral damage to some Pokemon and puts in the pressure against some. Because Heracross has to pretty much go nuke with close combat or do Rock Blast, which is non-stab, and Toxicroak plays a little bit different. And this Dugong is amazing because a lot of people, like I'm telling you, are running dragons. Mm-hmm. And Dugong can easily go, Icy win them all, farm them down, debuff everyone, and keep playing a simple life. However, there is a Jellicent on the other side, there is a Toxicroak, there is a Galvantula, and even though Rust Rate pretty much dies from, I would say, 7 Ice Shards, if you get one Leaf Tornado off, I think it's Leaf Storm, you get hit by whatever, you're pretty much taking over 80% of your HP. So that's pretty interesting. The Hunter is probably just trying to find the Jellicent, but I think it's just too squishy for the fast move pressure that's on Cristo's side. I mean, there's a reason why Cristo is called Cristo Dios, which would be Cristo God. He's an amazing battler, one of the best from Chile. Master Eterna is also a pretty good battler too. They're swapped up. I am willing to see, I hope we see the Hunter. I really think if it can get some energy, maybe swap out, maybe transfer the fast move damage from one Pokemon to another, it have a lot of play. But I think we will be seeing that Ferrothorn Jellicent core I was telling you about.
Yeah. It looks pretty strong against Christo's team, and for sure. I do like that Roserade, though, having that Fire Punch, and it is Leaf Storm, and it has a debuff, but it debuffs itself on attack. So we'll have to see if they're going to throw the Leaf Storm, build up for it, and throw it later. Like you said, that Dugong could take out two of those Pokemon, put them in check, but there are 3 Pokemon that put that Pokemon in check. So we'll have to see how they play it out. Since we talked so much, we're going to get right into these battles. Hopefully we'll see that Haunter right away. Yeah, there we go. See? Bam! All right, so I'm interested to see what kind of Ferrothorn this is. I feel you could probably, like you said, play both Mirror and Flash Cannon and get away with murder.
Yeah, it needs Flash Cannon to beat Dragalge, so probably, but Mirror Shot gives you a way to try to harm Rush Raid and Galvantula easily. And this is the matchup you do not want your Dugong in because you are not doing anything. And there is a Hunter, a straight swap, 2-3 Shadow Claws. And this is the problem with swapping into Hunter. Like, you know that's a Bubble Beam. And you get a shielded because there's too much fast move pressure.
Yep.
And the fast move damage adds up. You do not need to shield the Shadow Ball. Even though you know it's Shadow Ball, it's debuffed and you can probably farm down and maybe go ask for those Uber Eats promotions while you are at it. Just not worrying about this damage that comes through.
There is nothing that this Steelix has to worry about at all right now. With that debuff, Steelix, I would say shield so you could throw the energy, but no shield is coming. No shield is coming. The Shadow Sneak. Steelix is still alive. CP is still alive. The Hunter is gone.
A little bit greedy.
And
but that works too.
But yeah. Now
that works too.
Energy, 2 shields on a Galvantula. Both Pokemon are water type Pokemon. Lunge will do some damage to this Swampert, just so we're aware. It'll take it down to the yellow for sure. Get that Volt Switch off. Oh my gosh, Volt Switch.
Overtap. Yeah. Overtaps hurt so much. But the thing is that Jellicent is sitting pretty fine in the back.
Yeah.
And we know the matchup between Galvantula and Swampert is very close. Because with the debuff Hydro, that does not kill the Galvantula. So Galvantula will outspeed, and this time it gets it through. So even if this gets shielded, you do not need to shield the next Hydro. You can swap out to the Jellicent and probably just have a... Oh, this was a CMP. And have an easier game. You need your shield for Jellicent, and there's nothing they can do to kill it.
Immediate swaps from both battlers. Great call. They're trying to get extra energy on the Dewgong so that it can take out the Jellicent, but it ain't gonna happen. In comes the first Shadow Ball. Now, Dewgong's pretty healthy. It could take a Shadow Ball. Boom! Half its health gone. In comes an Icy Wind. Now you'll see a third of the health gone off of Dewgong. The next Shadow Ball comes through, but there's the switch now that he can pull and get rid of that debuff if he needs to. Seems like he's in the driver position with the Jellicent here.
Yeah, this Jellicent is just too bulky. Both are bulky Pokemon, but Jellicent has neutral damage, while Dewgong just throws resisted fast and charge moves. And this Shadow Ball will not KO, but it will leave him pretty low. And I think at this point, Jellicent still has a shield, so it's tough. Can probably just hex down this Dewgong and throw to the Swampert.
No way. Gotta throw that Bubble Beam. Can't be too sure. Remember what happened last time? We watched all of these Pokemon get fainted with energy left. The Bubble Beam will take care of it. Immediate swap. 1, 2. Putting all the energy on the Swampert for a Hydro Cannon, but Jellicent still has that shield holding it on for dear life. Almost a second Hydro Cannon and another overtap. This actually might go in Hydro Cannon's way. There was a weak connection. Niantic, not now. Not now. Who gets it first? Oh, the Hex goes through just in time before a CMP would have happened. That's intense there. Cristo. Mio. Ay, Dios mío.
Intense. That's so intense. Because I think Swampert did not leave the Hex anyways, but it was so close. One more Monsterdin would have meant a win for Master Eterna. That was such a close matchup.
Mm-hmm. Now, do we see the Dewgong or Haunter come back? Or do we see more of a Heracross, Jellicent, Ferrothorn matchup here? Does Master make the adjustments, or does they think the adjustments need to be made and keep the same team? Bring back out the Dewgong. We're about to get into that right now, as Crystal's going to show us. Dragolgi into Swampert. Yeah.
This is tricky, because if Swampert lands the Earthquake, Dragolgi loses his matchup. So as long as you shield the Earthquake, you're good. But if not...
That's Dragon Tail, right? Remind me again. I am not a Dragon. I do not have one built yet, but that is Dragon Tail. Great. Wow. Great call to throw the bait first. Ooh, not a bait. All the energy. What is happening? He's got two hydro
Wow,
ready to go.
that's a straight no shield. That's confidence. Like no way. That's earthquake. And now, because the first one was not an earthquake, you know this cannot be an earthquake. And you probably live this.
That was way too much. Allowed to go down. Why would you bring in the Jellicent? We've got more lag issues. Everybody's feeling that lag tonight. Swaps immediately. Bam. We got Shadow Sneaks and Shadow Balls ready to go. There's an energy ready to go on to Galvantula as well. It got that Volt Switch in just in time, throwing the shield on a Shadow Punch. That bait is really interesting. Will it get to the Shadow Ball in time? No. What's happening with Christo's screen?
Oh, did live? No, that's the thing. You need to shield that one. But that's such a great farm for the Jellicent. But there's a mirror in the back, and the mirror is bait dependent completely. Whoever lands the Shadow Ball wins. So what you want here is to take either the energy or the shield. But I think that Jellicent is still at a shield advantage. So I think Master Eterna needs a bait to win. And maybe there is no bait in game because that's an Icing Shadow Ball Jellicent.
That's an Ice Beam Shadow Ball Jellicent?
Yes.
Did you say Ice Beam? Wow.
Ice Beam. Oh, is that
no
the most condition? No,
Is he going for it? Is he going for it? All right. Here we go. We'll see if we get the shield this time. No shield up. The shield comes through. Oh my God. Master understands. Christo's like, you're not going to bait me, then try to get me. He could just farm him down too. He's got 2 Shadow Balls ready to go on his Jellicent. There is no health left on Christo's Jellicent. This was a wonderful adjustment by Master to take out the Dugong and bring in Jellicent instead, especially if it has an Icy Wind on it. And that is that, folks.
Christo would have won a straight Shadow Ball. He found the lose condition, like if it was me playing, probably. That was so hard to watch. But again, that's what it is. That was some great bait calls on Master Eterna side. Like, recognizing like the only way I win this is if it's a bubble beam. If not, this is a lost game. If the mistake happens, I'll be capitalizing on it, and that's also great skill.
You gotta sneak in a Shadow Ball with a shield and hope that your opponent doesn't call it. If he does, that's on you, and he does. Called the right call, Master, and took the second battle. Now we're back to even. What does Christo do? What does Master do? Do we even see the Ferrothorn come out? I doubt it. So Hex into oh, that's a shiny Haunter. Let's all take a note.
And
that's
they found its matchup. And there's a Ferrothorn you were not expecting. And I think this is a pretty interesting game because that Roserade can do a lot, and that's a very gutsy no shield.
Do you see the Roserade in the back? That is going to do some damage, but oh my gosh. Not shielding that. The bait here comes through. Great bait. Can't really do much against the Haunter because, you know, it's very weak. And it back on the Swampert. We talked about the lunge. There wasn't an overtap this time, so no 3 extra taps got in. So in comes the first lunge, which will hurt the Swampert. Knock it down into the yellow. Debuffed galore. We've got a Hydro Cannon or 2 ready to go.
This is not KO. And I think at this point, it's pretty hard. I think that Roserade in the back gets its matchup against Ferrothorn, so you need to weaken it. But at this point, this Swampert could even be in Bullet Seed, farm down range.
Bullet Seed or Poison Jab? That's the real question, my man, because
it has to be Bullet Seed.
Poison Jab has to be
Bullet Seed, yeah. For Lunar Cup, you can run Poison, but not here. You gotta run Bullet Seed, for sure.
That's a note for everybody. If you're playing Dungeon Cup, Bullet Seed Roserade. back out
Yes.
with the Haunter, which is great because now you can actually have your Roserade come out, find out what your third matchup is, and it is Bullet Seed on Bullet Seeds, and we've got so many Bullet Seeds. It's a Flash Cannon too! It's a Flash Cannon Ferrothorn, not a Thunder, not a Mirror Shot, a Flash Cannon. This is huge. The Fire Punch will come through. It puts it in the deep red. The swap, the catch!
Wow, no
The
way.
catch is
No
huge!
way. And that's so tough because you see him pressing the move before the swap is being tapped.
Right, but that was the turn that he gets before the move goes through, and that switch happened. They had to process it. In comes another Fire Punch, and Ferrothorn is hasta la pasta.
That's so tough. That probably means the game. Hunter, even though it gets us fast move through, I think he's still one Shadow Claw away from the next Shadow Punch. And, well, I'm not sure if Shadow Punch KOs at this range. But that's so tough.
There's
And
a shield on Roserade too.
yeah, Roserade too strong. That sack swap, that was amazing counting. And
We've been watching it
Cristo.
all game, all night. They're just making sack swaps on sack swaps and turning matches that seem like hard losses into wins, keeping the energy on the back and holding on to it. This play, oh my gosh, those catches were so good. Bravo to Cristo Dio. Cristo Dio, huh? Is that his nickname? Bravo to Cristo
Cristo
Dio.
Dios, which is like Cristo God.
Yeah, no, but Master Reina definitely played beautifully. I mean, the lines this time that we saw were not the same three Pokemon. We saw maybe Haunter, I think, in all three matchups, but a Dewgong came out, Ferrothorn came out, Swampert came out, Jellicent came out.
Jellicent.
Cristo, I think everybody but Swampert came, or Toxicroak came out. So these were great matches from the battlers, reading their opponents and understanding the matchup in between, making the right adjustments, understanding Dragolgi's not gonna last. Gotta swap it out and bring in that Roserade. Much better matchup there. Luckily, she saw the Ferrothorn in the back, which is super weak to it. But at the same time, it could play out either way. Maybe that was the play, because the Roserade's always in the back, right? You're bringing out Jellicent, you're bringing out Galvantula, thinking that the Roserade's coming. It's a head game for these guys. I don't know their head games. All I know is what I saw, and what I saw is beautiful play and team adjustments. Jolt, do you have anything else on Dungeon Cup before we go and crack into the Nightfall Cup?
Well, I think Dungeon is just more fun than Nightfall. That's all I want to say.
I don't blame you on that one. I'm just, oh my god, Nightfall, if you run into a Gallade, you're just crying. You're like, what do I do? Yeah, the Gallade G-Fisk matchup is a core, and the first matchup we're going to see of these two will be Willy Gen 10 versus only Agus. And like what I was saying, those Frostlasses, they're everywhere. Where's Defy? She loves this Pokemon. Frostlass has been so huge here. As you see on Only Agus, he's got the G-Fisk, where Willy has the Bibarel. I have not seen a Bibarel in any of my matchups I played. I was rocking a Lit Leo. That's about as spicy as I gotten. Bibarel, on the other hand, that's a whole nother game. It's smart, too, with that water gun, the Surf and Hyper Beam.
Yeah, has a good matchup against Frostlass. It does damage to the Swampert. It does a lot of pressure on G-Fisk too, and on the Ninetales. Bibarel is a legit pick. However, Medicham and Venusaur pretty much destroy the poor Beaver. But I think with proper coverage, that can do a lot of work. And again, this matchup is all about energy management and shield management. If you get the energy with the Frostlass, that's pretty tough because nothing resists all its fast moves. So you will get big hit by Shadow Ball, by Avalanche. So baiting game is also pretty important here. And I am pretty interested to see how this Roserade plays out, because Roserade has the potential to hit every single Pokemon on Aga's side.
This Roserade will probably be rocking the Poison Sting or Poison Jab, because the Fairy typing in Ninetales, it's everywhere. And if that's your charm and you've got a Medicham, if you don't have any Golbats or anything like that, Medicham, you're probably wanting a the charm user to come take out that Medicham. So a lot of these Ninetales are rocking that charm. So that Roserade could get away with a lot of buildup before it has to throw any energy. So it could be really good for there. But you're talking about the Medicham Venusaur core. Why would you bring that with both ice are rocking around right there? You've got Frostlass and you've got Ninetales, which throw ice moves. Again, across on the other side as well. Why would you bring Roserade Medicham as well? Both the ice moves and those Pokemon have charm plus a Shadow Ball. There's a lot to play around with that matchups. It's those top two Pokemon, the Swampert and the Bibarel, and the Swampert and the G-Fisk, that I think are going to be the bench pressure to adjust the entire matchup of this battle.
Yeah, I do agree. This will be pretty important. Swampert also has a lot of potential because we've seen on the Indigo League, one Earthquake and it all changes. So
one Earthquake could take out a Venusaur.
Yeah, anything could happen. I'm pretty interested to see how these battlers play this out.
I don't know if Earthquake is around because, like I was saying, Ninetales has been playing so hard in this cup that it could very well be Sludge Wave, which is, again, Silph doing that wonderful thing. We're making it about the moveset on the Pokemon that you like. And it's Roserade, and it's right into Frostlass. Ooh, that's tough. Great call on Infinity to get the right call in the beginning, and it's Ninetales, and Ninetales is rocking Powder Snow. So both Ninetales and Frostlass on the left side here, rocking the Powder Snow for Willy. That'll be interesting. We get the Psyshock right off the bat onto the Frostlass, taking it down to the yellow, and Frostlass just has all the energy.
Yeah, the thing is that you cannot really swap out into your Frostlass because you would be behind on energy, and that's pretty much a losing scenario. So you have to swap into the other Sosu matchup. And Ninetales gets resisted, Weather Walls, but this Psyshock does a great amount of damage. I think this probably gets shielded as you can get to another Shadow Ball, but no, it lets it go, and you can come. And that's a team pretty weak to the Frostlass in the back, too.
That's what I was saying.
That's a great read, because Venusaur needs to shield here. And, oh, this is gonna be so rough. I want to see what Agas has in mind to turn this around.
I am shocked to see him not shield that Frostlass, because this Powder Snow Ninetales is an absolute ABB. You can tell from a mile away that Frostlass in the back is going to just destroy the rest of this team. But we will have to see what happens if he brings the... He could probably bring in the Roserade, draw out the third Pokemon, see what it is, see if it is against it. It's Bullet Seed Roserade, back with the Fire Punch again. That is
wonderful. Jenny was so close to getting the swap there, to get the catch, and that was crucial because I think he will wait to the next one, see if he can get it. Goes for the bait. This will not KO if it goes through.
It will go through. It won't KO. It won't even get it to the yellow. 2. Does he make the catch? He makes the catch. Great catch. Fire Punch coming through onto the Medicham. XL
This
style.
is still so tough because there is still one shield left, and the Venusaur Frostlass matchup comes down to CMP, but Frostlass can leave this with 2 moves. So I think that's very rough. It leaves the Psychic, no problem. You do not need to shield this one because this one will do less damage than the Venusaur Frenzy Plant will do.
Will the debuff happen though? No debuff goes through because Psychic has that debuff as well. I mean,
yeah, and
this is why I was bringing Lit Leo, buddy. This is why I was bringing Lit Leo because oh my god, it's so good. It's got Crunch, it's got Ember or Fire Fang, it's got Ember, it's got Flame Charge, but yeah, that core. Frostlass breaks that core. What a great call by Willy to have what is the fast move? Powder Snow on his Ninetales, not Charm. So what do you see in the adjustment then?
I do not think Agas was expecting the double eyes, especially ABA double eyes. That's not so common in Nightfall, but that's great if you find the lead because basically you lock the opponents into the matchups that you want. I think maybe he was expecting the Bibarel or the Swampert, but we will see how he adapts. Maybe if that A9 on Aga's side has Charm that has a lot of play into Willie's team. A
That
lot
is
of play.
that is what I'm trying to think of what Agus has because there's not much with that double powder snow combo going off right now. Venusaur leads into a Frost Slash. It's not what you want. Now it's on
This
to
is
the
CMP
opposing side.
dependent. This is CMP dependent. Venusaur can take this if he has higher attack.
Look at what happened here. Now we got an
Or-
ABB on Agus's side. Agus is throwing off the ABB.
Straightforward. You gotta shield this. Or,
Yeah.
yeah. This is why I don't like Nightfall, because you make a mistake on one shield and it's game over. And that's what I don't like it. But this is so hard. As you can see, a lot of bait games. Again, if there is not a shield on Wheel again, it's so tough. You're not gonna lose your Frostlass straight away and leave the opposing Frostlass with shield and energy advantage.
Right.
So you gotta run. Oh, and that fast one came through. That could change a lot. That's a great reason for shielding and a correct shield. Yeah, and we are close to having the timers off. Double bait, and I think this could be close to KO plus powder snows.
Shields again. 2 shields coming on. The timers, as you said, are coming back up. We are about to see if there's gonna make a catch. Ooh, that Shadow
CMP
Ball will come
ties.
through.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I don't like Nightfall Cup, because all my Pokemon are great ranks, so I lose all the CMPs, and that's tough to see. But Frostlass
That's
is
why
now
you
energy
don't have
right. Yeah, and Venusaur has energy.
And
So
it is Charm on the opposing Ninetales. So that's great.
Catch.
It's got, but the problem is that those Weather Ball fires come through, not the Weather Ball ice, because those Charms still take a minute. Boop.
it won't KO, and I think you
Nope.
get to the Weather Ball, and these KOs, because Frost Rage is made from paper, like even Escape is already damaged, as you can see. This will take out the Frostlass, and I think Willie needs to come Medicham and
Has to.
try to
Draw
counter
that
it
Venusaur.
down. I think I don't want to say it's over, but maybe he can get to the move.
Wow.
No, and that's super
Wow.
tough.
Frostlass swap immediately. Medicham is back in. We know that the Venusaur is there. I did not see the moveset on Willie's
It's
Medicham yet, but we will get that after this Frenzy Plant comes through and does half of the damage onto it.
It's power
a
up punch and
power-up
Psychic.
and Psychic. I like that. Definitely play a mind game with your opponent. Because, I mean, Power Up Punch, Ice Punch would be really good here in this cup as well. But
Yeah,
Psychic is so
Psychic's good.
Frenzy Plant does it, and only Agus makes the right adjustments. The double ice doesn't happen for Willie, so now the question is, are they both bringing double ice here in this matchup?
I think Ninetales comes back. Ninetales just looks too strong with Charm, because Rough Raid, even though it's Poison type and resisted, and can deal back good damage with the Weather Ball, when Weather Ball does not KO, and Charm hurts. So, Charms is really
Agus
good.
here, only Agus can bring in what I'm going to say is he's going to bring in that G-Fisk. I would bring in the G-Fisk if I was him. I've seen no ice on this one, double ice and E1 on my opponent in the first matchup. I know a Frostlass or a Ninetales, at least one of them is coming. So I'm safe to call in for my G-Fisk and maybe work that around that Medicham. There's the Frostlass. There's the G-Fisk. Called it, and only Agus gets that lead. G-Fisk lead too. Why? Because that Medicham is only good as a closer. G-Fisk against Roserade as well. Building up the energy. Frantically pressing that Weather Ball fire. Doesn't need to shield this. It won't take out the G-Fisk immediately. So, boop. As you see, Ninetales in the back with the Charm on only Agus, and then Ninetales and Frostlass Powder Snow duo on Willie in the back as well. We'll see how they play it out. G-Fisk can still swap out at any time.
Yeah, but that's the reason that he stayed in, because he has a counter for the Frostlass in the A9 with Charm. He can shield that and have a good matchup. And Venusaur is also CMP dependent, so there's a way to deal with the Frostlass, but Rust Rate against the last two Pokemon seems pretty strong, so you gotta wear it down as much as you can. Maybe try to farm down with A9 or Venusaur if possible.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
an old
Great,
tactic.
great. Great.
Down to the yellow, knows that Bullet Seed takes at least 4 turns to go through, can get charms in and chunk it down. Now Frostlass comes back immediately, and like you're saying, those charms do work on Frostlass. The Psy Shock will do work as well. Ooh, we have a touch, we have Frozen, we've got lag, and CMP went to Frostlass.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. And this is a smart shield because Frostlass will just get really chunked down. And in the back, there's A9 and G-Fisk is still alive. And G-Fisk with that HP can probably get still to 2 avalanches. And it has energy. So this is pretty tough because of that great lead call. And that's a great way to manage the Ross rate that you know it was coming.
Only Agus is playing this perfectly, getting his team back into the matchup after a hard loss against Rigorous from Andrew. The Frostlass, or the Ninetales charm, is doing the damage against these Frostlasses. Bye-bye. He adjusted properly. There it is. Like you said, the Venusaur can win in the CMP. Can he get there? Sludge Bomb. Ooh.
That was great timing. Great timing. Because if you throw Frenzy there,
still
alive.
It's
a tough one.
Still alive. That Venusaur is still alive. And
I don't think this KO, but it lives it
to the deep. Yeah.
Yeah, to the knees, to the knees.
To a charm at least. Oh, it does KO.
Oh, and
3. He
wow.
won with 3 mons up still. Great adjustment from
Agus is pretty good. I had the unfortunate luck to face him before, and he's pretty good. Does not let one mistake go by.
He was an all-star last season for a reason. Absolutely.
He is an
brilliant.
all-star.
Well
Willie also played pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was unfortunate. He was not expecting the lead, thinking maybe double water plus the Medicham is enough to scare the G-Fisk. But that was a great call on game 3. As we've seen on the previous matches, that the players like to stay with their teams. Like, they just swap the order, but they stay with their teams. So swapping a mon that you have not used before, that maybe throws you off and says, I was not prepared for this. I was not expecting this.
Absolutely. The G-Fisk, they weren't expecting it. They probably didn't even think that the G-Fisk was going to come in. Willie was probably tilted like, oh, I just lost that. Scrap the Medicham, bring back in my double ice. Let's do this. And Agus was probably going, I'm going to lead with G-Fisk. Just because no one's ever played Bibarel against me. And it worked magically. And because of that, we are now tied in the final matchup. These 2 teams have been battling it out neck and neck. This is intense right now. I am shocked to see this, and we are here on the last matchup. Whoops, I forgot to get rid of Willie's card. Bam, let's do that again. Boom, Matikra vs. Slam. And it's Nightfall, and we've got double ice, and we've got a Gengar this time. There's some Stunfisk on both of them, but that Blaziken, buddy. Ooh.
And that Blaziken looks good. That Blaziken looks good because it basically makes you not bringing Snorlax. Snorlax cannot play. G-Fisk has a harder time because that's Zola counter and the mirror. Maybe Ninetales if it has Charm, which I think probably does. But again, this is so hard. However, Gengar looks insane too, because if Gengar can find its way into the fighters or Frostlass, Gengar can leave that with energy and just terrorize Maticraft's team. So
this
I
could be a Sludge Bomb as well.
Could be Sludge Bomb. Could be Sludge Bomb. But I think it has Shadow Ball for the G-Fisk. Because if you just run Shadow Punch, Sludge Bomb, G-Fisk laughs at you so hard. But we will see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times this night. And that Ross rate, I think, will play a huge part, as we've seen before.
Yeah. Roserade's been really great with Bullet Seed tonight. I'm really impressed by how, I mean, obviously it generates so much energy, but how it spams it off and gets it so quickly, too. It's actually been a great Pokemon ever since we were able to get that Community Day move on it. So that was wonderful. Well, here we'll have to ask if Blaziken has Stone Edge or not. That'll be an interesting one. And, of course, Gengar could have Focus Blast. Now, I know that would be crazy, right? But, like, we've seen it. We've seen a Focus Blast Gengar beat a Bastiodon. It's happened. It has happened. There are rules like that. I would expect a Shadow Ball Sludge Bomb from Gengar. Not even baiting anything, just going for it, because Gengar is so fragile, right? That if it comes across, it has to just give up a charge move, and you gotta keep your shields on your Ninetales or your Medicham. Gengar can easily just go for the nuke and then take the energy away from his opponent. So we'll have to see how both those players play it out. But I love the Gengar because of the multiple moves it can play. I really hope we don't see a Medicham like fight down. If we do, we'll have to talk about, you know, our own cycles or something. You know what? If we see Medicham, maybe you could just read your entire article, because that's how bad that matchup is with these XLs. But we're gonna get into the last matchup now. The chat should be hyped. Everybody should be excited. This is Diamond Tier of the Silph Fraction, and by golly, every battler here deserves to be in the Diamond Tier. For sure. The catches, the plays, the outsmarting on the Pokemon, so good by everybody. We get a Medicham lead. Oh my god. So anyways, Joel, go ahead and give us your rundown on... No, I'm just kidding.
And this is a Psycho Cut Medicham.
Oh.
Wow, and this is a captain matchup too. Magikarp is Rigurosones captain, and Slam is Infinity Go Wise captain. So it's a captain matchup, and Psycho Cut Medicham.
It's a captain matchup, you said?
Once? Yeah, it's a captain matchup. I think
better?
I said it's once only. And I play a lot of tournaments, so if I only see one matchup once, that's pretty spicy. And probably takes the mirror because of the faster charge from, and ooh.
And it gets the dynamic punch. We don't know what the second
if he says you know this dynamic punch, you know it's the dynamic punch. You know, you have to shield this.
Do you? There's no shield on that dynamic punch. They're gonna get to us. Oh, not in time for this. Do they shield here now?
I think you shield here and force his shield.
Oh,
that's fine still.
Matri will not force the shield, but in comes the Ninetales. It is Powder Snow Ninetales on Matri. That's good to know.
I don't think this kills. But if this is not CMP, because I think that G-Fisk is one turn behind, you can try to catch it with your own G-Fisk.
Ooh.
Oh, it still does not kill, and it's fine. This Aina can get the energy, and that Medicham did a lot of work, basically taking out two Pokemon by itself.
Psycho Cut Medicham. Dynamic Punch and Psychic, the moveset you would never expect. I love it. Again, I'm loving what Niantic has been giving us with the boost on movesets and everything like that, allowing other Pokemon to play with different moves as well. Boom, a Meteor Bola comes out, and in comes the Medichams. We'll see what the second move is. We saw Psychic from it earlier. We'll see what the second move is.
Yeah, going standard, the Ice Punch.
But,
it is the
Gengar!
This tough? Because Gengar needs to hit a nuke. And I think you need to wait twice. Because it's 2 shield. I think you need to wait twice.
I'm praying for Focus Blast. I am praying for Focus Blast.
Okay, we get 1 bait.
What is it? Shadow Punch? Was that Shadow Punch, right?
Yeah, Shadow Punch. And I still think you get outsped. Even if you wait twice. That's so rough. Because look at the much damage. It's already half HP.
The mud is just, or the ground is just hurting that poison type.
You need to bait here too.
Yep.
The second bait. Will you get to the third one?
There is a Pokemon on the opponent.
Losing CMP.
Slam has a second.
Shadow Ball kills. Shadow Ball
it is, and you are absolutely right. It is Shadow Ball, Shadow Punch. Wow, Gengar with a shield in the back. Well played by Slam. Wow.
And now we're at match point. If Magikarp loses one more game, this is over.
Yeah. 10
has
points
to
right
bring
there.
it back. Gengar it's pretty strong. If there is no Gallade on the other team, Gengar just feasts on this meta so hard.
You know what? I have played against so many Gallades. I have Gengar on my team, but I can never play him because everybody's bringing Gallade. I'm like, come on. I've not seen one Gallade from these Diamond Tiers. 4 teams, now one of them is rocking a Gallade. I'm so upset and just saddened by that. Because everybody, you know, like it's like you're getting algorithm by Silph pairing. Gengar into the Powder Snow Ninetales. So
Yeah,
we're gonna get the
Ninetales.
Gengar to just come do what it's gotta do. It's got that poison typing, so these claws do a little extra damage because of that fairy typing.
There's a Blaziken in the back.
Did you see Blaziken? Did you say Blaziken?
Yeah, there's Blaziken in the back. And the thing is, Gengar needs to shield, and I think you do not have to shield this because you can come in with G-Fisk and farm a little bit, throw one Rock Slide. We get a shield on a Shadow Punch, so that's a successful bait. And we see the Snorlax swapping into the Blaziken, and that Snorlax gonna get countered down. And that's a Brave Bird.
That's a Brave Bird Blaziken, right?
Yeah. You probably need to shield this because Blaziken is as fragile as Roserade and Gengar. And
God,
I don't think you farm them.
you
Oh,
farmed
that
down,
what?
my friend.
That should have been so close.
Wow, so Blaziken rocking like 102 health or 112 health is so fragile, but has nukes like Brave
And
Bird,
that's not
Stone
that's
Edge, and
not
Blastburn.
that's not Blastburn. That's
Blaze
Blaze Kick.
Yeah, there's
That's
a bait.
Blaze Kick.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it should be enough. I think Gengar's pretty frail, and Blaziken has a sky high attack stat.
we're talking about two Pokemon that are under 120 health. They can't take a
Oh,
move.
no, one,
And it's a
two,
Stunfisk in the back.
4,
Blaziken's
5.
so good.
Oh,
There's a shield.
barely
No shield
got
on
it.
Blaziken.
Barely got it. But I think this is over because you can come Gifisk and get to the Earthquake because you leave one Earthquake, and this will be Mighty Crack. Using the Blaziken because you live this Earthquake. Even if you lose CMP here, you live it. So Mighty Crack just, I think, outthinking Slam. Slam maybe thinking Blaziken's not coming in. Well, you got counter down. You lost your Gengar, which was your win condition last game. And now it's 10-10. We're going to the final game to see who takes the bragging rights. And not only bragging rights, because depending on how the game between Dragon Rage DRI and Aztec League went through, the loser of this game could maybe even face relegation. So this game was pretty important for everyone.
This is huge for everybody. You know, I saw the team lineups and I saw a bunch of players on there. I was like, oh, I gotta watch these. I love watching these Latinum and these Diamond that I've been playing have been so good, and it has not disappointed. And to see any of these go down to, is it gold before Diamond or Platinum? Like, oh, who wants to get one of these teams in their groups? That's just too much. That's a lot of worrying about a great opponents there. You get the G-Fisk into the Snorlax, and this is how we're leading it off for the last matchup of this game. There's a Snorlax with Lick. The G-Fisk is doing its work. There are superpowers on Snorlax. We'll wonder if he can fly and be the hero for Slam, or will G-Fisk just quake everything that Slam's got down?
This could even be a Quake Snorlax too.
Wow.
That went through. Probably loading up to double superpower.
Superpower, yeah.
Which would KO. Oh.
If this is Earthquake Snorlax, I will cry, laugh. It is! That's huge! That's so huge! Get out your speakers, everybody!
And this is
thing
great.
gone nuts!
Coming in with the Frostlass.
Double
This
ice
is
again.
obviously Body Slam. But Frostlass took half its HP. But as I was telling you before, and as DeFi Ian knows, Frostlass with one move advantage, it's unstoppable.
I saw. Okay, I think it's Gengar coming out.
Yeah, that was Gengar coming in. Got one Shadow Claw through.
Okay, so Gengar's in. We see the immediate swap into the Ninetales. Gengar has no
to be
shield
Venusaur
building
in the
energy.
back.
Has to be, right? Oh my god, how
Has to be
horrible
Venusaur.
is that?
Or
If
you
that's
would have swapped
Venusaur-
out.
If that's Venusaur in the back, you're in so much trouble. No, it's the Medicham.
Medicham, okay.
But the Moonlight or the Dazzling Gleam comes in first.
Yes. It's pretty tough because you want to save your shield for Frostlass in the back because you know it has the energy. And it does not get shielded. That's so tough because even if you shield this one, Frostlass has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And you got a shield here. Gengar. Gengar needs to leave this with a Shadow Punch and win CMP. But I don't think the timer will allow him.
Gengar has to farm this down, is basically
Oh,
what has to
no,
happen.
one fast move away.
Oh, so close to farming it
Heartbreaker
down.
for Slam, but amazing
But
plays.
Magicra wins it with the Ninetales Frostlass, the double Ice Core pulling in huge for Rig, for Matri, and I'm gonna slaughter this name. Rigurosones wins that Silph cycle bout. How insane were those matchups? Down to the last battle, 11-10. Wow, the catches, the movesets. There was so much. I've got to still process what we just saw and what we've been watching this whole time. Because about 2 hours ago, we were watching Lemon Lime make amazing catches. And in this one, in this time, we're watching this Ice Core just dominate the entire meta. Catch it or not, throw Shadow or throw Earthquakes, surprise Earthquakes, all you want. This double Ice Core was so huge. Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
And with this win, Rigurosones got actually to fourth place in Latin America Diamond Cycle. And that's pretty good. Pretty good. Fourth place is amazing. So congratulations to Rigurosones. And also congratulations to their other team, sister team, Rigurosos, which ended up second place. And again, Infinity Go White ended in fifth, and Infinity Go Black ended in sixth. So they'll be facing their playoff round, but I'm sure we will be seeing them back in Diamond. Amazing games. I'm a huge fan of all these players. Like, some of them are my friends. Some of them I had the pleasure to battle with. So watching them play to these high standards makes me so happy.
It was absolutely amazing to watch all of these battlers, absolute top battlers. I've not heard any of the name from Rigurosones, and they played beautifully. I can't wait to follow them down the rest of the line of all of these Silph factions. If you're not watching or following any of the factions on the Silph arena and just looking at teams and seeing how battlers are doing, or seeing what some of these big names are, popping off or not popping off, who's beating them, who's not, what they're bringing. Like, it's so great what Silph has done, providing us with the Niantic GBL system, including with the Silph metas that they have been giving us for the last 4 seasons now. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful time. I'm so excited that we got to do this. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with us on the Silph Arena today and joining us in the Viridian Center as we took a little trip down there. I don't have my chat up. Jolt, can you type in somebody to raid? Can we raid somebody? I don't know who to raid right now.
We will be raiding Panic in a moment, but first I would like to say thank you to everyone. Los voy a agradecer en español. Muchas gracias a todos los que se tomaron el tiempo para pasarse a ver las batallas. Una lástima que no pudimos tener las batallas de Andrew contra Yanni. Eso no quedó en nosotros. Les pedimos una sincera disculpa. Sin embargo, estamos muy felices por todos los que se tomaron el tiempo, ya es noche, para ver las batallas. Son batallas increíbles. De verdad, qué ganas me dan a mí de estar jugando Factions en este momento. 2 equipos increíbles, y tampoco quiero que se vayan con la finta que tal vez dicen, no, que Rigurosones es como el B de Rigurosos, ¿no? O Infinity Black es el B de Infinity White, porque de hecho Infinity Black le ganó a Rigurosos y Rigurosones le ganó a Infinity White. Todos son equipos de excelente calidad, son jugadores del top mundial, y más que nada, gracias por estar acá. Veremos si el siguiente lo podemos hacer en español, y mucha atención al artículo que voy a poner esta semana. Viene con un Excel como de este vuelo sobre estadísticas de los mejores performances, se me fue el nombre en español, de todo Factions, ¿no? Y muchísimas gracias por verlos, yo estoy muy agradecido. Sosa también está muy agradecido. And also, I want to shout out Major Gaming for going undefeated on their cycle bout 7-0, almost reaching 100 points. A shout out to all my friends there. And yeah, I have to get that one in. And whenever we're ready to raid.
Yeah, just one more thank you to the editors and to the post crew that helped build this and bring this together. PvP Steve for helping us shout this out. And then to my editors, XTP Matt, James the Blasian, and First Olympian for all the graphics and everything like that. Jolt19, my guy always, by my side. He's amazing. So glad to have you helping us out as always. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us and watching these Silph factions. These faction bouts have been going on forever. The cycles are done. Teams are adjusting and moving on. Mazer Gaming's moving up, thank God. My team is going to be hopefully moving up soon, but we're working our way up there. But yeah, thank you all for watching this and joining us on Silph Arena. Be sure to follow all of the Silph stuff down below.